Hey guys, Jeff here, and in today's video we're going to be discussing 9 renovation projects that you can get done in your house that have a huge return on investment. That's right, we're talking about ROI. Some of these projects are great as a DIYer, some of them you should be hiring out and getting a pro, and some of them it's a great combination where you can get some professional help, do the rest yourself, and still get massive return on your investment. It all comes down to a couple of situations, how much time you got, how much skill you got, and how much money you want to put into your project. But this is a great year to invest in yourself and invest in where you live. Let's jump into this. So guys, if you're a fan of this channel, you've heard me say in years past, I think about 4 years ago, we talked about ROI, return on investment, we talked about the cost versus value report, try to help steer you to where you should be putting your money and where you'd invest in your home so you get a good return. And you know, as a DIYer, you always make money when you renovate on your own house. But this year is different. Things have changed. The market has changed dramatically for a few specific reasons, so let's just jump into those real quick. First, interest rates are high, and a lot of people are on long-term fixed mortgages that are low. And so you're not looking to change that scenario and refinance your home by buying a new house. So the first project we're gonna tackle in today's conversation is the kitchen. And that is because in years past, I have not been a proponent of renovating a kitchen when it comes to ROI. In years past, it was a lousy return. If you did a remodel, you're looking at 50 cents on the dollar. If you did a major renovation and you created a new space and finished it off, you're still only getting 75% ROI. Now, all of a sudden, a kitchen is a great place to spend your money. Now, we got to separate here because if you got a newer home and you got a functional newer kitchen, don't change it. You're not making any money ripping out a perfectly good kitchen and putting in a new one, all right? What you can do is you can update some fixtures, maybe some appliances, but this is really geared for people who've got a house. Let's say you got into the housing market and you bought something in the 80s, all right? You're gonna look at a renovation. You wanna talk complete changing things. All new cabinets, new flooring, move walls, open your space. A project like that can run you $60,000 to $100,000, but the good news is, on a major renovation, your ROI is going to be 96%. All right, let's just round up 100% ROI when you hire the entire project out. That is amazing news because if you're on this channel, that means you're interested in doing DIY and being handy. Folks, if you're gonna DIY your kitchen remodel or your kitchen renovation, we're talking 200%, a little bit more if you're remodeling, a little bit less if you're doing a complete renovation because there's more materials and building materials to buy. But the point is this, you can actually do a major kitchen project in your house this year, getting your house ready to sell next year, hopefully, or maybe the year after when the rates come down a little bit and becomes more of a seller's market again. Take the time to invest in where you live, get a major project like this done, and you can double your money that you invest in 1 year. Now, if you're gonna remodel, we're talking about getting your cabinets painted. You can hire that out or do it yourself. You can paint the walls, you can change your flooring in the kitchen. A lot of houses have kitchen-specific flooring, and so you can change that, update it, get rid of the old 12 by 12 tiles, right? Get something a little bit more modern to go with the new decor, and you can refresh the space so you can get the best ROI on your project when you finally do end up selling. All right, another great project to consider is changing out your garage door. If you got hockey puck damage or your teenager drove into it when they were trying to drive out of the, you know what I'm talking about. If you change your garage door, guys, 4 years ago, you could break even. Cost a few $1,000 and you get the 100% return. But the market has changed in every aspect of your home. This is the best news. Now it's a 200% investment. That means that if you spend $4,000 or $5,000, you change out the door, maybe you can go with the side gear drive, so it's nice and whisper quiet. It's specialized work though. Don't try to DIY a garage door. Right? This is what you're telling me? Next project, guys, we're gonna consider this year is building yourselves a deck. Like, let's face it, everybody needs an outdoor living space. We're not just gonna get ROI on that, we're gonna get quality of life, okay? And you can even save yourself a fortune. You don't have to go on vacations if you got a great outdoor living space. Now, if you hire a contractor, you're gonna get about 85% return. And that's because the majority of this project is labor, okay? But if you're gonna do a deck and you're gonna build it yourself, again, it's over 200% return on investment. Now listen guys, building a deck is something you can get the whole family involved in, all right? Maybe don't put 6-year-old Johnny on the chop saw, but everybody can be a part of the program. It's a great family memory. And remember, this is about 400 square feet space. We've got video on how to do the entire project. And it's just a little over $5,000. that's because this is done in cedar. So decks have got a budget for everybody out there. You can go pressure treated and save some money. If you're gonna be in your home for a long time, consider going to composite. They don't get as good of a return, but if you DIY it, you're still making money and you're gonna get something that'll outlast even you. And hey guys, listen, we're trying something new this year when it comes to our outdoor projects. We're trying to put together the drawings and the material list so that you can have something to follow and be successful on your project. If that's something you're interested in, hit us up in the comments section. Let us know, yes, I'd love to get plans and what kind of projects are you looking at, because we want to knock off a couple more this year. Love to hear from you about that. You know, in years past, every expert has given really good advice when you're going to sell your house, get a new front door. Bottom line, it's all about the curb appeal, right? Getting rid of an old exhausted tire door that's been hit with hockey pucks. It's the wrong color, it's got no personality. It's a great idea. But now, with the new market environment we're in, that door, if you pick up a phone and hire somebody to come over and measure it and replace it, is 180% ROI. That means if you spend $3,000 to $4,000 on a top quality contractor door that they only have access to, you're going to be almost doubling your money. This is one of these projects you've got to do. Now listen, if you're in a market where you don't want to spend $3,000 on a door, I get it. You can still go down to your local Home Depot, pick up a new exterior door. I've made videos about how to install them. I've even did a video where we cut out and put in the light, okay? You can do it yourself, paint it up, make yourself look like brand new and have some great curb appeal and make money while you're at it. Hey, listen, while we're at it, we're talking about the outside of your house. We're talking about the facade. One of the things we talked about 4 years ago was getting a stone veneer. Really common in the southern states where you're gonna have a stucco exterior. You can put a stone veneer a few feet up, a little lintel. It's a great way to dress up the house. 4 years ago, that was 100% return on your investment. So you could hire that out, get it done, and you didn't cost you a dime because you retained that in the value of your house. Right now, that's jumped up to 150, all right? Not a bad gig. Now that is mostly material cost, so if you feel like doing it DIY, you could, but it is material expense heavy. So if you're gonna do a project and try to create an ROI for yourself, there are other ways to make money with your time. In this particular case, I would just hire it out and let someone who's really skilled do that kind of project for you. So guys, remember, the older your house, the more the different materials you're gonna run into. This is an aluminum siding, very common in the 60s and 70s. Nowadays we're using a vinyl product, all right? But if you have an old aluminum siding, the good news is the stuff is pretty solid. Like this is here since 1974. It's in great condition. So if you wanted to, you could just paint this. Now, if you want to replace your siding and update the color scheme and your soffit and your fascia and everything else, you're looking at about 88% return on investment to hire a crew to come in and do this work. If you want to do it DIY, you're up over 200. Now, that means you got not be afraid of heights in a lot of cases, all right? Maybe rent a little bit of scaffolding, but it's definitely within your wheelhouse. Another thing you can do in this case is you can have it painted. So if you contract a painter, it's 100% return. So if you're not a good painter, you don't have the equipment, you're afraid of heights and getting up there and cutting them with the brush, just pay someone to do it right for you. But if you want to go and make some money, this is a great place. Painting the facade of your house or staining the brick to change the color, it's a 500% return on your investment because it is mostly labor. And if that's what you want to do is use your time to create equity in your home, that's a great way to go. Hey, listen, if you're interested in finding out how you can stain your brick or paint your siding, I've made videos on both of those subjects. We'll put some links in the video description for you. Okay, one more project. Well, this is a series of projects, guys. Great return on investment. We're talking about outdoors, landscaping, okay? Hardscaping, adding fences, building sheds, all this kind of stuff. Remember, at the end of the day, psychology is really simple. If everything you see from the street is looking good, all right, then people will want to buy your house. Bottom line. So if you hire a pro to take care of that information for you this year, now you're making money. It's 150% return. And until guys in the industry start to realize that this condition isn't temporary and it's gonna be longer term, the prices won't go up. So it's a very good window of opportunity here for the next couple of years to get good deals and make money by hiring crews, okay? Also a great time if you're young and got lots of energy, you wanna start yourself a shed building business, jump in. The next couple of years, you could build a shed a week and do really well for yourself. Remember, as a DIYer, you're gonna do all the labor yourself. So you're gonna be having about a 375% return on investment. So don't be afraid to invest in your yard. Build an outdoor living space, do yourself a deck, do yourself a shed, put in some fencing, beautify the space. It's going to pay off big returns and it's going to make your house sell faster than everything else in the market. Remember our goal here, take the next couple years, invest in yourself and where you live, so when the market changes, you can capitalize and have the best looking house on the street. Now, I get this question a lot from folks. We're talking over the last few years about, what about renovating my basement? What's the ROI on that? And they're generally disappointed when I tell them. Up until recent days, it's only been about 50% when you hire a contractor. You're only going to get half the money back. And a lot of it is because it's a risk-reward relationship, okay? Living spaces in basements generally aren't done really well and are very prone to water damage. So, on this channel, we've got a bunch of videos to teach you how to do it right. So if you hire somebody, you're going to get about 70% return, which is pretty good considering right now's market. But because it's so dramatic in the labor, very heavy, 70% labor, you can actually do a project like that yourself. Hire out a plumber to help you, hire an electrician to help you, tackle the rest of that project yourself. Take a whole year to finish it off if you want. We're not in a hurry. Remember, we're trying to get ready for the market when it swings back to a seller's market. So you've got time, and it's going to get you about a 230% return on investment. So I recently bumped into somebody who was using our videos from the channel to renovate his own basement. And it's interesting because he'd taken the time to get quotes. So the contractors are quoting him about $250 for the project, which in today's market, if you have an empty basement, it's normal. It's about $150 a square foot to start from scratch, all right? Now, he ended up spending $85,000 in material. And so when you take 70% of the contractor quote, he more than doubled his money, which is good for him. He didn't do it over a weekend, but he got it done, and you can too. And so just a little help, guys, when you're looking at hiring a contractor for a basement, if that's the route you want to go. If you have your house and it comes with walls that are framed and insulated and the electrical's run and you have a rough-in plumbing, it's about $100 a square foot to finish off the space. If you have nothing but bare concrete walls and no rough-in bathroom, you're looking about $150 a square foot to get that job to finish, okay? Make sure that you're not taking quotes that are underneath that price point because you're hiring someone who doesn't know what they're doing. All right, and I saved the best thing for last, guys. I mean, if you want to get into the world of DIY, then you really want to take a look at painting the inside of your house. One of those projects that before you would hire a painter and get a lot of your money back, but now it's 100% return, not even a question. But it's also the easiest thing that you can learn as a DIYer. It's, there's no barrier to entry. Your tools are just a couple of hand tools and a tarp, right? So for $100, you can be a professional painter. We have videos that'll help you with all the technical aspects of how to do it as simply as possible and get a great result. But the bottom line is, if you do it yourself, you're going to get about a 500% return on your investment, and you can take it at your own pace, one room at a time. So by now in this conversation, I'm sure everybody's got all kinds of questions about budget, right? How much money, or how do I know how much money to spend in a certain project? Because it's one thing to know there's an ROI, but when do I spend not enough and when do I spend too much? And so I put together a little budget calendar here, and it'll give you a little bit of a guideline of what you should budget for different projects in your house. And two more pieces of advice. First of all, make sure before you go on a major project on your house, you've talked to a real estate agent and you have an idea of what the valuation of the house in the neighborhood would be with your projects completed. What we generally are saying is the market is really favorable to do work on your home right now. But you can't just go and say, well, Jeff said if I spent $50,000 in my kitchen, I'd make 150 grand. It's not what we're saying. You got to do your own little bit of research, make sure that that's a right fit for you and your home and your project. And number two is I talked a lot in this video about hiring a contractor, because you can still hire a contractor and make money today. So there's a couple of things I want you to look out for. One, is it a professional business that is in an installation business? Okay, so like replacing your door or your garage door, those are little micro industries. And so they've got great training and great teaching available to the staff that do those things, and they're very professional at what they do, and they can be professional because they're very focused on one task. When it comes to hiring a contractor to take care of a massive project, in today's market, any sooner than 6 months to a year, if they're not booked for 6 months to a year from now, they're probably not the right contractor for you, all right? And I'm just saying that because the good guys are busy, and everybody else who's filled the labor vacuum may not be a good fit for you if you don't have the time to manage that site daily.